Yes, the cheapest one is $12,000, which means that a house of 100 square meters cost about $1 million. Even the smallest apartment cost $50,000 or $60,000. You must listen carefully, sir. Natalie Xavier was very dismissive of this kind of person who was overconfident and maliciously delayed in time. Well, Chuck Cannon didn't finish his words. At this time, a pot-bellied man walked into the real estate agency. The gold necklace in his neck was thicker than his fingers, and he looked like a rich man at a first glance. Natalie immediately chose to leave Chuck aside and greeted the man with a smile. It was totally different from the way she treated Chuck. When Natalie saw the fat man, she immediately put on a happy smile. Sir, do you want to buy a house? Yes, I want to buy a house. Introduce some high-quality housing sources to me. Quote, Natalie even smiled more happily. Yes, we have a plenty of high-quality rooms here for you with our high-end service. Unlike some people who come to us even when they can't afford it. It's a waste of time. Natalie gives Chuck a disdainful look while she spoke, implying and cursing him. Chuck looked at Natalie's attitude and felt disheartened. He was used to being looked down upon. And that time, he didn't say anything without money. But this time, he had $5 million. How could he swallow such humiliation? Where's your manager? Call your manager over. Hearing Chuck's word, Natalie sneered and said, you people like you still have the right to meet your manager. Don't make a fool of yourself here. Get out of here. Do you know wasting 1 minute of our time will affect how much money we make? The manager walked over this time. As a service industry, it's a big taboo to be rude to guests. What's going on, Natalie? Natalie hurriedly explained, manager, this broke idiot isn't trying to buy a house, but instead he's enjoying the air conditioning here. I'll get him out of here immediately. The manager eyeballed Chuck's clothes from the top to the bottom and saw that he was dressed in ordinary clothes. Indeed, as Natalie said, he didn't look like someone who could afford to buy a house. More importantly, he was too young to buy a house and he looked like 18 or 19 years old. No one would believe that he had the ability to. Chuck did not say anything. He stood up and walked to the agency next door. Can't afford a house. It seems that you are not the only real estate agency here. Natalie looked down on him. How is a poor person like you would be able to buy a house? I think you can't even afford a toilet. Some employees also laughed at him. He's afraid of making a fool of himself, so he found an excuse to run away quickly. He said he wanted to go next door, but he could possibly be trying to take advantage of the air conditioning there too. Still pretending even when you are gone. Natalie sneered. They were familiar with the next door real estate agency, and they also knew whether they could sell it or not. After watching Chuck leave, Natalie hurriedly ran to the fatty and smiled apologetically. I am sorry, boss, sorry to keep you waiting. The fatty shook his head and said, it's okay. However, no matter how Natalie greeted him with a smile, the fatty never talked about money. In the end, Natalie's patience was exhausted and she even began to plead. At this moment, the employees of the real estate agency looked outside. Under the respectful guidance of the staff next door, Chuck got into a Mercedes-Benz, which specially used to look at the room. What was going on? Generally speaking, only people brought a house could enter this car. Didn't the next door real estate agency see that this little rascal didn't have the ability to buy a house at all? The fatty saw that these people in real estate were distracted, so he quickly sneaked out. Natalie turned around in